another edition of Science Vision Art and Life. My name is Adewale Booker Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. Today, we're going to make a comeback to Karjakz versus Avengers, round 2. Like before, I want to introduce the Karjakz once again. So on the Karjakz teams, we have Cajun, Escalade, Rasputin, Glock, Sincere, Diesel, and Shepard. On the Avengers side, of course, you've got Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, Hulk, Black Widow, Falcon, and the Wasp. Last time I had Hawkeye, and I felt like I should have had Falcon instead of Hawkeye the first time, so I corrected myself. And so this is round 2 battle. And of course, from last time, if you remember, we started off with Shepard versus Hawkeye, but this time it's going to be Shepard versus Falcon. Shepard versus Falcon. So that's Vincent Pierce Shepard versus Sam Wilson the Falcon. And right here, you have two different types of combatants. You have a guy who's a bow and arrow guy in Shepard, who's got quantum arrows, quantum bows. He's blind, of course, which is an advantage in a way. And he's also a great martial artist, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, and he's a great marksman with the bow and arrow. And then on the other side, you have Sam Wilson, a great fighter, he's great at flying, I guess you could say it that way. I've never known him to have combatant skills, but he does have an array of weapons. These two, I guess you want to call them guns that he fires off from his hands. He's able to do many acrobatic things with his wings, carbon fiber wings. And so when looking at this fight, right, so one guy's air, one guy's on the ground. Now, Shepard can't go fight Sam on the ground, Falcon in the air. And Falcon can't fight Shepard on the ground. But what was going to eventually happen, which is what's logical, you take away Falcon's wings, he's pretty much rendered useless. And that happens, hand-to-hand combat is not really in his favor. I can't see a situation where he beats Shepard. So in this first round, Shepard versus the Falcon, Shepard takes this matchup. So 1 for Karjakz and 0 for the Avengers. On this next matchup, Sincere versus Wasp. Now let's recap. Sincere, of course, she knows the shadow arts. She's a great martial artist. She's got great hand-to-hand combat skills. She's very acrobatic. She used to be a ballet, so she has acrobatic skills. And she's very intelligent because she's as well noted, she's a news reporter by day, a journalist by day. And then versus the Wasp, who herself, if you remember the Wasp, you had two types of Wasps. You've got the ones in the Avengers movies, and then you got the ones in the Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes. I kind of have an in between, but she's able to grow big and grow small, but with the help of her suit. Now, of course, she's a scientist too, but now let's talk about versus each other. Sincere versus Wasp means that you've got two great women who are combatants, but I think the edge is going to come down to who's the better hand combatant. And for me, I feel like Sincere is going to beat her because you have just somebody who's superior to her in terms of combat skills. In any fight, it's always going to come down to who has better combat skills and who's not going to get tired. And I can't see a situation where the Wasp is beating Sincere. So even with all that tech, whether she can grow small, whether she can grow big, you got to remember the thing about Sincere's armor is that it has a whole lot of tech in there. It can see from the mega level to micro level. And I don't think when you have somebody who's a great martial artist like her, precision is everything. So I can see Sincere taking out Wasp armor, maybe short-circuiting it, and then just beating her straight up on hand-to-hand combat. Because if you take away Wasp's suit, what is she really? What can she really do? So on this next fight up, Sincere versus Wasp, Sincere takes this match, and once again, another victory for the Karjakz. Now, this has been really a tough one on me. Diesel versus Hulk. The last time they fought to a draw, but as I stated before, I felt like Diesel eventually would get Hulk. Now, let's recap who these guys are. Diesel, of course, he's a chief engineer at Icon Industries. He's got the biosuit that amplifies his strength, makes it unlimited. He's got great wrestling skills. He's a great boxer. And he's also a very smart dude, too. So he's not just fighting you, but he's learning how to fight you. Now, on the other hand, is the Great Hulk, the Green Machine. He gets angry. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. But is it under control? No. I think that's one of the biggest things that is the Achilles of Hulk. He's a great fighter, but the madder it gets, the less control he's having. So he's just throwing punches here and there. Whereas Diesel's having control of what he's doing. So if they're matched up strength to strength, there's no way the Hulk is beating Diesel. And in this round two matchup, Diesel plus don't forget Diesel has the power axe, and that's really gonna make Hulk. He can literally cut off Hulk's hands if he wants to with that power axe. So that's an advantage that Diesel has. He's got an array of weapons. The suit that he also has offers invulnerability. So in this next matchup of Diesel versus the Hulk, I believe Diesel's gonna take Hulk on this one. And so once again, the Karjakz get another victory. On the next matchup, we got Rasputin versus Captain America. Now, the first time they fought, Rasputin lost because I felt like Captain America would win because he has a super soldier serum. But I think this next time, being that Rasputin is a scientist, being that his brother's Julius Phoenix, he's going to come up with some way for his suit to be able to equal Captain America's soldier serum strength. And if that's the case, then Captain America's in for a fight of his life. Both of these guys are great hand combatants. And let's break down Rasputin. He has array weapons, shatter stars, the servo sticks we can turn into nunchucks, bow sticks, mini katanas, sais, any hand-to-hand combatant weapon you can think of, even a miniature shield too as well. And then you've got Captain America on the other side, of course, who's a former soldier. He's got the shield, you know what I'm saying, and he's basically uses his hands in his shield. So now the vibranium shield, of course, is unbreakable, which we now know that it is breakable because Thanos in Avengers Infinity Endgame destroyed it, literally shattered it. So Rasputin versus Captain America. Now, as I stated before, very few people can actually take Rasputin on in terms of hand-to-hand combat. So when you're talking about the round two version of this fight, Rasputin defeats Captain America finally. And I don't think no amount of soldier serum is going to help Captain America beat Rasputin in round two. You're talking about this guy's going to learn from what Captain America did the first time. And the thing I like about Rasputin is that he's not just a great hand-to-hand combatant. He's a great hand-to-hand combatant who learns as he goes. It's like he's understanding your fight patterns, if that makes any sense to y'all. He's understanding what it takes for him to defeat you. That's what makes this a great situation. Two great hand combatants. So on this next matchup, Rasputin takes down Captain America. And the Karjakz get another victory. So far right now, the Karjakz are 4 wins and the Avengers are 6 losses. And I'm not doing this just because my characters are like I want my characters to win, but I just feel like in the end it's gonna come down to hand combatant, and Captain America's not beating Rasputin twice. That ain't happening. All right, y'all. On the next matchup, Glocks versus the Black Panther. Now this one's interesting because as just like the Captain America, Black Panther has the I guess you want to call it Black Panther serum that he drinks and then gives him superhuman strength. The herbs, I guess, if you want to call that. Whereas Glock's whole suit is a tech based it's a tech based item, right? So Glocks is gonna let's break down Glocks. So Glocks has got a array of weapons: the Gatling guns, also known as surge cannons. Yeah, spider darts. His suit offers like tech control. He can control any technology around him. His suit also offers invulnerability, and also too, as I stated before, his suit can offer him enhancements, which include strength enhancements too, just like Rasputin. And what it is here, what the reason why he lost to Black Panther the first time was because of the herbs. Well, if you having technology equalize what the Black Panther's Panther herb can do, then now it's a fair fight. Of course, I know that the Black Panther, as he absorbs energy, he absorbs it and then he can give it off as kinetic energy. But this is where technology comes in. If Glocks is able to disable Black Panther's suit, which he can, because in one way or another, Black Panther suit in many ways is techie because it has a different array of things that it can do. Glocks versus Black Panther, Glocks comes in on this fight, finally defeats him, and not by the skin of his teeth, but because Black Panther is a great fighter. Not only is Black Panther a great, like he's got an array of scientific technology, but he's also a great hand-to-hand combatant. And Glocks is a great hand-to-hand combatant. Both of them have great array of weapons. So on this next matchup, on round 2 of this matchup, Glocks takes Black Panther, and the Karjakz get another victory. Next up, Escalade versus the Black Widow. Wow, this is 2 powerful women. Escalade, Colonel. She's got an array of weapons. She's got the pulse cannon. Of course, her suit is literally a walking laser-proof, bulletproof any type of nuclear missile bullet you can think of that can't penetrate that suit. She's a great hand-to-hand combatant, master in karate, taekwondo master. She's got and of course she's got military training too. Now on the other side, she's fighting Black Widow, who's a master spy herself. She's got an array weapon. She's got great hand-to-hand combat skills herself. She's very nimble, very acrobatic. But I think with these two women, what it's going to come down to is, yes, they're both firing off lasers. Yes, they're both firing off cannons. Yes, they're both firing off whatever small bombs or whatever you can think of that they throw at each other. But it comes down to hand-to-hand combatant. I think personally, Escalade is a better hand-to-hand combatant. In the end, Escalade takes her because I think military experience plus all the training that she has had. Not to say that Black Widow hasn't had any training, but I can't see a situation where Black Widow beats Escalade. It's just not going to happen. So on this next matchup, round 2, once again, Escalade defeats Black Widow for the second time. The Karjakz now have 6 victories, and the Avengers have 0 wins. So on to our last matchup, Cajun versus Iron Man. Now this is a very interesting matchup because both of these guys are very intelligent. Both have great armors. Let's start off with Cajun. He's got this suit, this suit that offers is great for hand to combat. He can do everything Iron Man can do, plus hand-to-hand combatant skills. So the suit allows him to control it through servos, so he doesn't have to depend on energy getting wasted on shooting lasers and rays and all that stuff like that. Of course, he can do those things. Of course, he has the Omega Beam. He has the blue blades. That's really the difference between him and Iron Man, where he has an array of ray guns and all these kind of laser weapons, but he also has the blue blades as well, not to mention the Omega Beam. Now let's talk about Iron Man. Iron Man, of course, I mean, what else is there about Iron Man? He has the Hulkbuster armor. He has different types of armors, and I'm sure it's going to be the Mark, let's say he had the Mark 10, Mark 7 armor, which is, let's say he had the armor from the Avengers Infinity War. Even with that armor, he can't beat Cajun because Cajun has that type of armor. Plus, he has the blue blades, and the blue blades, which are basically like energy katanas. They have a mystical element to them. I'm not going to give you all that information, but that alone allows him to beat. And not to mention, he's a better hand-to-hand combatant than Iron Man. Iron Man really isn't really more of a hand combatant guy. He sort of uses technology to fight you. So he's wrestling you, he's flying around and hitting you with missiles and all this other kind of stuff. But whereas Cajun is a more hand-to-hand combatant, not to mention he can also do what Iron Man does with the technology. So in this round 2 matchup, Cajun once again defeats Iron Man, and the Karjakz get a clean sweep, 7-0. That's right. So let's recap. Cajun defeats Iron Man, Escalade defeats Black Widow, Glocks defeats Black Panther, Rasputin defeats Captain America, Diesel defeats the Hulk, Sensei beats Wasp, and Shepard fights a new fighter, the Falcon, and defeats them too. So the Karjakz 7, the Avengers 0. So y'all, I mean, it's not like I chose my own characters to win, but because in the first round matchup, Captain America and Black Panther both beat Glocks and Rasputin, but as I stated before, in round 1, they would learn how to fight these guys. So the Karjakz get a clean sweep, and I look forward to another round of Karjakz versus Avengers, And so, I mean, like I said, the Karjakz are a team of hand-to-hand combatant individuals, singular characters who can do amazing things. Not to say the Avengers aren't amazing, but I feel like my characters, when it's a matchup, one-on-one or group, they're going to defeat anybody. So that concludes our show. I want to thank y'all for listening. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by Adewale Abuke Jr. Please check out our website at sunnisvisionshop.com or sunnisvision.com. Please subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen, whether that's Amazon, Deza, Spotify, Apple. And you can also listen to our website at sunnisvisionshop.com or sunnisvision.com. Please check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, all at Sunnisvision. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week, y'all. Stay safe. Peace.